Not a bad view, is it? So, this is my Alpha 166. Thank you. Get out and have a look. It's not a bad view, is it? So, this is my Alpha 166. Probably the cheapest 3-litre V6 Alpha 166 in the whole country. I bought it for an absolute steal about 2 months ago. Did need a lot of work on it at the time. I mean, it had a leaking heater matrix which was pouring water inside the car, so the car was soaking wet inside. It needed rear hub carriers changing. Fair bit of work, just had neglect. The paint was horrendous, as you would have seen in earlier videos. But yeah, I'd argue the cheapest 3-litre V6 Alpha 166 in the country. For £1,000 for this car, needing all that work. I think I saved it from the scrapyard, if I'm honest. The chap I bought it from, he was a lovely guy, but I don't think he was in a position to get it back from where it was without paying the extortionate prices that the dealers expect you to pay. He was quoted sort of 20 odd hours of labour to get the car right, not including parts, so it probably would have cost him £4,500 to get it done. But I've got it back on the road and I'm using it now. It's not perfect, it's not clean. I cleaned the outside, the inside needs doing next, but as you can see, the interior is absolutely immaculate. Heater matrix job I got round, it's going to make the last owner feel real sick. Bottle of Radweld, it wasn't leaking that bad. Most of the leaking was happening around the windscreen, but they were quoted heater matrix, which is a pig of a job. You can see still my cleaning cloths and stuff. But the car runs absolutely awesome. I've only done a couple of 100 miles in it. I had to get my back brakes changed and I had to do the rear hub carriers because when I drove it home it felt like it was trying to kill me, because the back wheels were just swinging, so every time I hit a pothole or even a bit of paint on the road, it was literally throwing me across an entire lane. So I thought I'd give you this quick little intro. I'll give you a really good walk around the car when I've done better, mainly on another day. But what you car guys will know the main reason I wanted this particular Alfa Romeo, because there's lots of diesels out there. There's a few of the 2 litres and the 2.5 litres, and they're all great cars. But this one I had to get because of that 3-litre V6 BUSSO, and it is a silky smooth engine, silky smooth. You know, obviously I can polish up the rock, that's what everyone sees, you know, the intakes. Well, that's the other thing, this top mount was gone, so I had to replace that bushing, but that was an easy fix. But honestly, this car has been an absolute joy to drive. Need to get the rear alignment done because it's completely cross-eyed. I say the chap I had it before, he'd had the alignments done and stuff like that, but the garages he'd taken it to hadn't picked up on that bush being worn at the back. So they just done the alignments trying to keep it straight, and it was never going to stay straight because there was a worn bush. So now I've done that and I've fixed that worn bush, I had to do a pair of rear tyres in 200 miles. Unfortunately, the first shop I went to, they booked me in. I did a video and everything going down there and filmed it. They booked me in, put it up on the ramp. Their battery went flat on the ramp, so they couldn't do my alignment, which was a real kick in the teeth considering they knew I was booked in. But they told me to come back on the Monday and they hadn't booked me in, so I had to wait again. So I haven't had the alignment done yet. I'm not going back to that shop. But yeah, I thought I'd give you a quick look around because I cleaned the car earlier on today. I'll show you around. It's got the Sportronic 4-speed automatic, semi-automatic gearbox, but honestly it's silky smooth. So I only thought I'd come out and take a couple of pictures while it's clean, so it'll be covered in dust again soon. So there's a very quick walk around. I'll do a better walk around at another date, but I wanted to put a video onto the channel. If you are new to the channel, you just popped over to have a look, there's going to be loads more videos of me finding roads and discovering new roads. So if you'd like to subscribe, that'd be awesome. Absolutely brilliant. But I'm going to a car show on Saturday, which is why I've cleaned it now. It's Thursday now. So what I'm going to do is pick up the pictures now, and I'll film this car show on Saturday. But I thought I'd bring you along just this little drive, and I'll let you know that the channel isn't fast asleep. So there you go. So thanks for listening, guys. Like I say, if you have just popped along just to see this car, by all means like and subscribe, because there's a lot more coming with this car. I've only just started my life with this car, just started my journey. So please like and subscribe, and there'll be a lot more videos of me finding beautiful roads. As you can see, I live in South Wales, absolutely gorgeous, and there's some amazing driving roads about. So if you'd like to drop a like and subscribe, you'll see all future videos. As you can see, I took my wife's MG ZR, great little car. I took that over the Bulk, which is a well-known road up by me. Well, I say by me, it's about half an hour's drive away from me. And I'm determined to take this Alfa over there, because as much as the MG is a fantastic handling car and a really cool, lightweight hatchback, the horsepower of this and the handling of this should be a completely different story. But there's lots of other roads I've earmarked to take the car to. I've just got to get this car good and right and tracking well, and now the weather's good, now's the time to do it. So I'll be quiet now, and I'll let you listen to this engine when I get onto slightly bigger roads in a moment. But this is your typical mountain road. I don't usually like bringing this car onto these type of roads, because she's a wide old beast, but she's so nice, and I wanted to get a nice photograph up on the hill. So again, please leave a like, subscribe, watch some of the other videos I've put up, and the videos will start coming thicker and faster. So, I don't know if I've said it yet, my name's Tony. I'll be the driver on 90% of these videos, unless my wife's driving her car and I see something nice and I rig up the cameras. But this channel isn't about me ragging the car and flying down these roads. It's finding these beautiful, exciting driving roads. And of course I'll open the taps now and then. I wouldn't have bought a 3-litre V6 BUSSO if I wasn't going to open the taps once in a while. So yeah. But this is very typical of your Welsh landscape, these little villages, these quiet little villages. And it's even quieter now. I mean, it's a Thursday evening. It's half term, see, so I'm not in work. So it's nice and quiet. But most people now have got home from work and they're sitting down to have their tea, which is exactly what I'm about to do. So there we have it. Yeah, that was the other thing on this car. The paint was absolutely horrendous on the roof, on the bonnet, on the boot, really badly faded, and there's scratches and dinks on every corner where the car spent its year living in central London. And obviously that's not a very car friendly place. You know, cyclists are always looking to take the wing mirrors off. So now I've rescued the car, it seems to be happy to be in South Wales. A few more windy roads to actually appreciate the engine. I doubt this car got out of second gear very often in London. So I'll be quiet now and I'll let you listen to the car while I blast my way up the last bit before I get back home. I won't get it too hard around here because there's bikes on. There you go, prime example, there they are. This car's also been lowered. It's on Bilstein shocks and springs all round. Like I say, it handles like it's on rails, but it's quite crashy, the suspension, to be honest. This car was made to be a luxury car, a cruiser, which it still is, but the suspension's a little bit hard and crashy. I may go for slightly taller springs when I eventually get round to it, but at the moment, completely in love with it as it is. So I might get to put our foot down now. Yeah, see if we can listen to it through second gear, shall we? I mean, I've driven a few different cars, and I know the BMWs, Mercedes of this era have higher horsepower figures. But this is supposed to be 226 horsepower, which is the pre-facelift model. But it just feels like more than that. I mean, once you open it up, it just revs so smoothly, and it goes all the way through the revs so nicely. It just feels like more horsepower. I don't know if it's because long geared and smooth gears, I don't know. I know I'm completely in love with the car, I know that much. But say I've had a couple of cars in the past, I've had like fast cars. You know, I've had a couple of these quick remap diesels the last few years. I had a Passat 2-litre TDI which was mapped to about 190 horsepower. I had a Golf which was mapped to around a similar number. And I say they run out of revs really quickly, really easily. This just seems to just go and go and go. Beautiful, beautiful rev. Beautiful, like power arc, power band, I suppose you'd call it. But I had a few years ago, I had an Escort RS Turbo before I was married and I had kids. And that was a lovely car to drive. That was bonkers fast. And that was close to 300 horsepower. But this, it just feels like this would give them all a run for the money. I don't know if these used to give more power than was claimed, or whether they gave less power. I don't even know if this car's had any work done to it. I mean, the tick over sounds a little bit blub 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 blub. So I don't know whether it's been cammed. I know it's on sports cats and it's got a straight through stainless steel exhaust. But whether anything's been done to the engine, I do not know. It just feels like more than 220 horsepower to me. It's on 184,000 miles, so it's done a fair few miles, you know. But this is all what we'll discover on this channel. We'll work our way through it. I'm going to get back in touch with some of the previous owners, see if I can find out the history of the car, what happened. One of the previous owners he's on YouTube. He's really good. He's got his own channel called The Rubbish Mechanic. He's got a beautiful Granada estate at the moment, and I believe he's still got an old Alfa. He's an Alfa 90. I'm probably wrong, but I believe he's got another Alfa he's working on. But he knows his stuff, and he was the previous owner of this car, and he has been an absolute gentleman. He reached out to me. He saw my picture on one of the Alfa Romeo owners groups when I was saying, oh, you know, I've got this issue with the wheel alignment and what have you, and he reached out to me and said, if there's any issues, any history you need to know, let me know. So the guy's an absolute gentleman. So pop on over and have a look at his channel, The Rubbish Mechanic. And he's not a rubbish mechanic by any means. So yeah, so says him how he was a previous owner, and when he owned this car, it was gorgeous. That's when I fell in love with this car. I saw a video with this car a couple of years ago, and I actually saw this car for sale about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was in no position to afford it then. So it's just crazy how this car that made me sort of fall in love with the 166, because I'll admit it's not the best looking Alfa Romeo. The 156 and the 159s are the ones I think are really, really pretty. You know, the everyday man's Alphas. But I tell you what, having this one, I'm not saying this is an ugly car, that'd be a stupid thing to say, but having this on the driveway and looking at it and cleaning it, it's such a lovely looking car. Some of the angles, and you know, when you clean a car is when you first really notice all of its shapes and all of its curves. And since I've had this car and I'm looking at it all the time on the driveway, I have fallen for the looks. It's a gorgeous car, and it's unbelievable to drive. It's so comfy. These Momo seats are stunning. But like I say, this is just a quick little video to keep, you know, to keep the channel going. I will really get in depth and have a good look around it. And there's going to be a video of this car show I'm going to on Saturday. Whether this video will be up in time for the car show, I don't know before it. But yeah, the car show, and Barry Siden's in the Ronda. So if any of you know the car and you see me, I mean, by all means, pop along and see, you know, say hello, have a look at the car in person if you like. That'd be great. So yeah, so now I'm going to be quiet. You probably won't have seen this last part of the drive, because I'm not going to obviously film where my house is. But thanks again for watching, thanks again for tuning in. I hope I'm not too boring. I just wanted to chat to you guys while I was bringing the car back home. And there you go, the fans just kicked in just in time. So thank you guys, and I hope I see you on a few more videos and you come along for the ride with me as we're discovering more about this beautiful car. Cheers guys, you all stay safe.